I'm Eloisa Nailon, and I will be moderating today's session. Our goal at Studying the USA is to assist international students like you in finding your dream school and connect you with the right institutions. And we're so happy that you could join us today for our session titled Certify Your English with MET to study in the USA. And today we have an amazing opportunity to speak with Emily Clifford, the Academic Services Manager at Michigan Language Assessment, and Dr. Fernando Fleurquin, Director of Marketing, Communications, and Stakeholder Relations, also at Michigan Language Assessment. So, Michigan English Test caters to individuals of all ages, from young learners to teens and adults across all English proficiency levels. The results are instrumental in advancing both professional and educational goals. We understand that international students face various challenges when applying to U.S. institutions, including meeting English proficiency requirements. And the Michigan English Test, or MET, was created to address these challenges and help students achieve their goals by providing a reliable assessment of English proficiency. The MET ensures that students can confidently demonstrate their English skills to universities and colleges across the US. So, by joining our today's session, you'll gain direct access to ex- um, exclusive insights. We'll provide an overview of the MET and discuss the benefits it offers to the test takers who want to study in the US. And you'll also learn about the practical strategies to prepare for the MET and how it can support your application process. And we'll also answer questions that you may have about MET. So please feel free to write your comment or your question in the comment section, and let's see, um and we will answer all your question all throughout this live session. So but first, let's start off by with a bit fun. So share your conscious flag emojis in the comments, and let's see how diverse makes our global audience today. Okay, so again, welcome, Emily and Dr. Fernando. And to start our live session, could you start by sharing a bit about your background and what motivated you to pursue this role at the Michigan Language Assessment?
Go ahead, Emily.
Thank you, Fernando. Hi, everybody, and thank you so much for having us here today to talk to you about MET. So my background is in teaching English. I spent almost a decade teaching in Southeast Asia, helping students achieve their educational goals. And I'm so happy that I'm able to continue doing that here at Michigan Language Assessment. I'm based now in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and my role is mostly focused on creating practice materials and preparation resources to help our test takers prepare successfully for the Michigan exams and specifically for MET. And Fernando, will you take it
Yeah,
from there?
sure. Thanks for the invitation to be part of this session. It's great to be joining us, everybody, at this from Michigan here, almost at midnight this time. Um, I've been in the field of English teaching for over 30 years, taught for many years, and I also came to study in the U.S. And I've experienced part of what everybody's from the audience, what you might have experienced if you're planning to come to study here at some point. Um, I'm I'm an English teacher. I have a master's degree in business and marketing, and I have a higher um, EDD, a doctoral degree in higher education. I've worked at several universities in different positions as the director of the intensive English program at two other universities. And I've been working with Michigan Language Assessment, collaboration between the University of Michigan and Cambridge University Present Assessment for several years now. And I worked with Emily in the department that manages marketing, communications, stakeholder relations, and all the preparation and support materials that we offer to our test takers. So it's a pleasure to be here.
Wow. So we have great resource people here because they are the one who are preparing this the test and the all the materials that can help you prepare for NET. So for those who are not be familiar, could you provide a brief overview of the NET and how it is designed to help prospective international students?
Sure. MET, or Michigan English Test, is a multi-level English proficiency test, which certifies your English from high beginner to advanced levels. And it's designed for high stakes purposes. For example, if you're planning to come and study in a university in the United States, it can be used as proof of your English. It's an exam that's available both remotely and at authorized test centers in person. It has 4 sections, so it includes writing, listening, reading, and speaking English skills. And you take the speaking section at the same or in the same session as all of the other skills at the same time. And it lasts for 155 minutes in total. Testing all of the key skills in your English proficiency.
Okay, thank you for that information. And what are the some of the key benefits of taking NET, especially for those students who are aspiring to study in the US, Dr. Fernando?
When we were working on the development of MET and all the different changes that we've implemented, we tried to focus on access and increasing affordability and providing a quality product to all test takers and that need to certify their English proficiency, but also to serve the institutions that are accepting those exams, something that they can trust and something that they can depend on for those high stakes decisions that Emily was talking about. So access, affordability, and quality are really important in what we're doing with our programs in general. It's accepted by a large number of colleges and universities. All the tasks that are included as part of MET that Emily was describing in those 4 sections are very familiar to anyone who has studied English in some way. So it's very easy to prepare for. Overall, test takers that are interested, that already speak English and have reached a certain level of English proficiency that is close to what they will be required in order to certify their level of English for admission purposes, they really take very little time to become familiar with the test and to prepare for the test. So it's an exam that is easy to prepare for, that doesn't require any formal preparation. Obviously, you have to speak English and you have to develop your language skills in order to take the test. We wanted to work on flexibility as well. So making sure that it's something that is available in different, either at test centers or remotely from home. Results are ready within 5 days. So it's something that you will see the results really fast. And
Fast.
we have an option to that we offer a section retake. You can retake either the listening, the reading, or the writing section of the test if you think that your score was not enough or was you could do better. Sometimes when we take an important exam, it might not be the best experience sometimes, and we feel stressed. We could have been doing better there. So that's one option that can help to reduce that stress in some way. And it's an affordable exam that is very offering great value for a more affordable fee compared to other options. So you can share those results with as many institutions as you want. You don't have to pay extra to share your results with several universities when you're considering different options. So we're trying to package the exam in some way with a variety of services, thinking about the needs of test takers and international students that are interested in exploring this option to help them in that general journey when they come to consider a career in the US.
Yeah, and that's nice because you really cared about the test takers because you try to lighten the stress that they are undergoing. preparing for this exam. But before we continue with my next question, I think there is a related question here from one of our live audience. Um, it is from at asthma underscore you humor 100 from Instagram. I think he's asking how he can take the test. Can you
You
answer
can
that?
you can go to an authorized test center. You can check our test center locations on our website, michiganassessment.org, or you can take it from home. Also, you can take it securely from home, as long as the institutions that you're applying will accept results from a remotely administered exam. You can take it from there. Are some conditions that you have to meet, and you can check that information on our website. But that's why we're talking about that flexibility. Where you have access to the tests, you can find a center near where you live, or potentially you could be taking the test remotely from home. As long as you have reliable internet access, it will be very easy for you to do it.
Okay. So it is evident that our live audience are really interested in taking MET. So can you share some practical tips or strategies for students to prepare for to take the ME test, the MET?
I would say the number one thing to do if you're starting to prepare is to really become familiar with the types of tasks and activities and the format of MET. As Fernando was saying, the tasks are designed to be familiar for people who have already been taking an English course, or similar to activities you find in English language textbooks. But it's really important that you understand how the test how the test assesses all of your skills, the types of questions on there, the timings, and all of the ins and outs of the exam, which you can do by go to michiganassessment.org, our website, and we have a free sample digital test available. So you can go and try it out and start understanding about the different timings and the format and everything else like that. It's also really important to just keep practicing all four of those skills as much as you can. So just, frequent focus practice every day will really help to keep building those English skills and will ensure your success when taking MET. And we have lots of resources on our website. Again, michiganassessment.org, where you can practice, you can find out more about the different questions on the exam, you can practice with different example questions and that sample test, as I mentioned, so you can practice the timings. So lots of practice.
Yeah. Okay. So may I ask Dr. Fernando, how widely recognized is MET among educational institutions in the US, and how can students use their scores to apply for admission?
Sure. And we just shared a slide. If we can post it now, that we have some of the institutions that are accepting MET. If you're considering tier one institution, top research universities, small or large universities or community colleges, on every corner of the US, there are hundreds of institutions that are accepting the exam at this point, both in the in-center administrations or remotely administered. And you can check the list of universities on our website as well. I see that there is a question about from nurses that are preparing for the exam as well. In addition to being used for higher education, the exam is also used it's accepted for occupational visas for healthcare professionals, especially nurses that are interested in coming to work in the US. And there's a large number of boards of nursing in different states of the United States that accept the MET to certify English proficiency as one of the different requirements that they have to meet. And it's also accepted by the US government for the immigration process and to obtain an occupational visa for those healthcare professionals. So there's also information on our website about the healthcare sector as well. The preparation materials that this person was asking about in general to prepare nurses, we have a variety of different materials, as Emily was mentioning on our website. We can you can easily find a lot of different resources that are freely available there.
I think this question is there are actually a group of nurses. So, do you have a specific support that you provide for this kind of test takers who are taking the MET uh, as a group? Or,
We have information for teachers that are preparing uh, test takers for different purposes, and we are creating some new ones for the healthcare sector in particular. Today, just by chance, we were meeting with Emily and other members of our team to discuss some of the things that we'll be releasing this year. So keep checking our website for more information on additional resources that we'll be releasing soon. But there's a variety of things that can be used either for self-access for the test takers that are interested in preparing for the exam by themselves, or for teachers that are helping applicants either to come to study or to come to work as nurses or healthcare professionals. And there are special resources for teachers to help them when they're creating courses or prepare materials for their classes.
wow, that's a very exciting news. And you just hear it first here in this live session. So, going back to our questions here, um, what resources does Michigan Language Assessment offer to help students practice and prepare for the test?
Well, I think we've already talked about a few of them, but I will try to highlight some because we do have some really great resources on our website. For example, and available for free, you can download a complete study guide that has preparation tips and advice. It has example questions, details about the kinds of skills that you need to practice for MET. We have the digital sample test, as I mentioned earlier, and we also have some downloadable PDF tests as well. We have practice test books that can be purchased with 4 complete practice tests contained in the book. We have lots of YouTube videos which give practical advice and tips and suggestions for ways both teachers can prepare students, as Fernando was saying, and how students can prepare on their own. We have writing sample responses with examiner commentary, so you can see how the writing section is assessed, and then you can compare your own responses with the official ones. So we have a lot available on the Michigan Assessment website, and more to come. We're always working to build up the resources.
We look forward to that. So maybe I can relate this next question from one of our live audience to one I have here. So why do you believe that English proficiency certification like MET is crucial for students who want to study in the US? And let's relate it to one of the question we got from the live audience because they are asking um, the comparison between MET tests and TOEFL. So anyone?
In terms of pricing and other, um, sure, I really love this as an assessment tool for international students, for healthcare professionals, for anyone that needs to certify their level of English proficiency. It's a secure, reliable, valid certification that is used for high stakes purposes by different institutions, like admissions to universities, immigration purposes, licensure for healthcare professionals. It's really a key to open many opportunities, either in your academic or professional career. And something to kind of support everything we're saying, Michigan Language Assessment is a collaboration between the University of Michigan and Cambridge University Press and Assessment. It's part of the University of Cambridge. So these are 2 huge institutions with excellent leadership and kind of a ton of contributions to the fields of education and testing and assessment as well. So behind the exams and the score reports and the certificates for the test will display those logos. So you're getting a certification from that are backed by not just Michigan Language Assessment, we're responsible for the exam, of course, but backed by these two leading universities from the US and UK. Um, Pricing compared to TOEFL or other exams, the pricing of MET varies by country. You can check the price on our website again. But it ranges from $155 or $75 up to $205, depending on where you're living or where you're going to be taking the test. So it's more affordable than other options in many cases. And as I said, with the option of retaking one section in case that you didn't really get the score that you were expecting and you have to take only one section, you have a much smaller fee in that case. That's another advantage that gives you makes it more affordable in some way and more accessible to meet the expectations of the institutions that you're applying to, and gives you a little more relief. It's not just spending so much money that you will need for the whole process when you're moving to another country, but it will relieve part of the stress that an exam like this one will generate.
Okay, thank you. And just to step back a bit, because I think we jumped in one of the question that I prepared here. But what are the common mistakes or challenges that the student face when preparing for MET, and how can they overcome them? Emily, can you share something for them?
Sure. I think probably the challenge in this comes with practice is the timings, and not fully preparing by going through the digital test and understanding the format and the timings for each question and each section. I think that's a challenge, and it can be overcome just with practice and doing everything you can to learn about what's going to be on the test, in terms of how long do you have to answer, what kinds of questions are you going to be asked, how many questions are there. It's 155 minutes for the whole exam for all four sections. But yeah, it's important that you, in your preparation, not only practicing your English, but really familiarizing yourself with the exam format, to make sure that you understand how the exam's going to happen, how the questions will be asked to you, and what you need to do in the exam.
Okay, and just a follow up, how does Michigan Language Assessment support students before, during, and after the the testing process?
I think we're a very supportive organization. We do really believe in supporting our test takers and our teachers, anyone who's interacting with the Michigan exams. So we do offer a lot of support in terms of all of the resources we're talking about, providing new updated resources all the time. We have live sessions that we hold fairly regularly, and webinars where we can talk about preparation or specific skills and how to practice your English. We have a wonderful customer services team who are available to answer any questions and help out with, taking a certification exam can be very stressful, especially if you're planning on moving overseas. And we can do our best to try and ease that pressure by offering support through the customer service team. We have a Michigan customer portal, which is free to access and is used to receive your results and to share your results with as many institutions as you would like to, completely free. Um, and we have the full list of everyone who accepts the Michigan exams and MET specifically on our website. So it's very easy to find the information and check that you're able to use the MET results where you want to. And I think Fernando mentioned we do have a monthly newsletter. So we do send regular updates, letting people know what's going on, any new recognizing organizations, new materials, and interesting news that's going on. So you can sign up for that. So we really do our best to support before, during, and after taking MET.
Okay, thank you so much. And I believe that Dr. Fernando already mentioned a while back some of the planning about new services that you could offer to the test takers. But are there any new initiatives or updates at Michigan Language Assessment that prospective students should be aware of at this time?
We're always trying to to improve our services and trying to understand what's happening with the different stakeholders, different needs, different markets that are that need different services in different ways. So that's why we're the best way is to really keep up with our website information that they can see access through our news section and new information that we publish on our website that we regularly update. We're adding new recognizing organizations, new colleges and universities that are accepting the exam, either for undergraduate, graduate studies, or for specific programs within a certain university. In many cases, many graduate programs, either master's or PhD programs, have their own requirements, and they have separate requirements from the rest of centralized decisions for the university. So make sure that you're monitoring that at the university level, but you can see the list of recognizing organizations directly on our website and the new ones that we're updating on a weekly basis. And we, for new services and new developments, we always post them on our website. So that's the best way to access that information. We have, as Emily mentioned, newsletters that you could subscribe to if you're interested in receiving resources or news about the exam. So that's another way of receiving information directly to your email.
Thank you so much. And uh, I heard something about the graduate program. So one question from our live audience here is, does the test works for PhD programs? So this question is from Instagram.
For PhD programs, yes. On our website, you can see, like, from the list of recognized organizations, you can see the um, universities that are accepting the exam, either for undergraduate or graduate programs. The best way to confirm whether they will be accepting that exam or that will be useful for specific programs is for a particular PhD program, to check with the department that you're already contacting to make sure that they are accepting the exam and it's not going to be uh, uh, you won't have any challenges in that sense, because besides the centralized decisions that most universities have for graduate programs, each individual PhD program or for each particular program within the university at the graduate level, in most cases, those decisions are decentralized and each department might have higher requirements in some ways. So if the university is accepting, the scores of MET are reported on a scale from 0 to 80. Let's say the university accepts, I don't know, MET at 55 or 60 for undergraduate and or graduate programs, but a particular PhD program might be requiring 63 or 65 or a higher level of proficiency depending on what you're going to be doing. Like programs in, I don't know, linguistics or communication might require a higher level of performance in the language of community competence in general than other programs that might not be as heavy in terms of all the language that you will need to use throughout your program. But definitely check on our website about the recognizing organizations, but confirm with the university, with a specific program at the university you're interested in applying for, to make sure that the score that you're aiming at will be the one that is mentioned as a general requirement for the admission process.
Okay. So we're almost done with all the questions that we prepared here for you. But we're opening the floor to the questions from our live audience. So whether you're seeking further insights from Emily and Dr. Fernando or need clarification to any of the topics discussed, feel free to drop your questions in the comment box, and we'll try our best to answer as much questions as possible. So we have some here, and I think this one is from Facebook, from Majid. Um, how long is the test? He asked.
It's 155 minutes, so a little more than 2 hours you will be done with the test. The results will be within 5 days. So you can register for the exam up to 48 hours before the date you're expecting to take the test. Don't wait until the end, obviously, and don't wait until your application deadlines get too close to the receiving the results. So make plans in advance. But you can register for the exam up to 48 hours before the test. There's, as Emily was explaining, great customer service that will help you with that process, and the registration process is very easy. On the day of the test, if you're taking the test at a test center, you will need to arrive a little earlier for all the check-in process and checking your ID and your identification and kind of meeting all the initial requirements. If you're taking it remotely from home, there's also another checking progress and security procedures that you have to follow through. You have to provide your government issued ID, a photo ID. There are several steps that you have to complete before you actually start with the test. So plan in advance. If you're going to be, I don't know, traveling throughout the city, make sure that you leave with plenty of time before you are supposed to arrive there. You know the drill for something important like that you have to be at a certain time. And um, after you finish with the test, you will have your results within 5 days, and by then you will be able to share your results right away. As soon as you get the results and you confirm that these are the results you want to share with the institutions that you're interested in applying to, you will immediately share the results through the customer portal, and they will be notified immediately that they have the results to evaluate for you. So it's really a very efficient process in that sense. And the 2.5 hours that the test will take will be completed pretty fast. You will be kind of feel really confident about the way you demonstrated your English proficiency and feeling satisfied with the overall experience.
Okay, just a follow up. Just in case the test taker is not satisfied with the result that they get, so how long they need to wait to retake the exam? So is there a specific time frame that you give them? So
That's a good question. Yeah, we don't have any we don't have any limitations in that sense. You can take the test whenever you want, but if your scores are really low compared to what you're expected to get in order to apply for the university, you would probably need to evaluate those results and spend some time working on the specific skills that you need to develop. If it's just one skill, dedicate more time to listening comprehension or improving your reading comprehension, vocabulary, different areas that you really need to work on, so that you make sure that the next time you take it, you will have improved your level of proficiency. Just by taking the same exam again in a couple of days will not necessarily show huge improvement unless something happened in between. If it's basically something that I missed a few questions, or there was something that I didn't feel comfortable with, that's why we have that retake section, and you can just retake the listening section. I got very good scores in reading, writing, and speaking, but listening, I was not concentrated and I missed a few questions, and I know I could have done better. In that case, you can retake this section, and as soon as you receive the results, you have 3 days to confirm that you want to retake a section. It's only once, and it's only at that point. You cannot come back 2 weeks after you got the results. Oh, well, it's only before you confirm the results that you decide to retake that section. And then you have up to 28 days to schedule the retake for that particular section. As soon as you took that section, you will have up to 5 days. It's usually much less than that to get the results from the retake. If the score is better the second time, it will replace the initial score on your score report, and that's the one that will be reported to the institutions that you're applying to. If the score didn't change, the higher of the two scores, the initial one, will remain, and you're always going to have the highest score from those two options that you had in that case. So if you're not comfortable with one of the sections in something you think you're much better than what you could demonstrate that day, you can retake that section, and that's an important feature that is helping many test takers with that process. If you think your overall level of proficiency has to improve before you take it again. You should decide how long you want to work with a teacher, taking a course, kind of joining a formal learning program, or working by yourself. You can do a lot. Um, there are lots of resources. We have a lot of on our website, but you can do many more things on your own to improve your level of proficiency in general, and then take it when you're comfortable to make sure that you're going to demonstrate the level of proficiency that is expected for the application process.
Thank you. And another question. Wow. Okay, so thank you, Sylvia Farias, because she said here that it's a great tip. And I think one of our viewer from YouTube is taking his exam next week. So he's asking when will he get the results from the exam?
Results are typically ready within 5 days. So after the day
Mhm.
of the test, you will get the results through the customer portal, and you will get a notification to check the results when they're ready. Um, in many cases, they're ready earlier, but up to 5 days. And at that point, you will decide whether to confirm those results and share them with the institutions that you want to apply to, or to retake one section, or, well, those are the main options basically. Um, but yeah, in 5 days, you will get the results after the day of the test.
Okay, so I think we already covered all of the question. Oh, we have one last here. Okay, so Rigoberto Andrion is asking, would you please send me test tip in terms of speaking? So I think, Rigoberto, you can subscribe to the newsletters and visit their website because there's a lot of resources uh, they can that you can found there, and
But the
we
best thing is practice your speaking. Just practice
yeah.
with whoever you can. Find friends, family, I don't know, classmates. When I was a student, I was not born in the US. I was born in
Mhm.
another country, and I was speaking Spanish in my country. I went on the bus talking to with my friends in English, and everybody was looking at us, but we were basically we're interested in improving our level of proficiency, to improving, finding opportunities to keep practicing. So you improve your speaking by speaking. You improve your writing by writing. And there are lots of other things that might be associated with that. But practice makes perfect. So make sure you find many opportunities to speak, to practice, to keep talking, to don't worry about your mistakes or anything, or feeling strange when you're speaking in another language. Just keep talking and keep pushing yourself to use new vocabulary, to use new structures, to try to incorporate the new language that you're learning in general as part of your active language when you're speaking. And but try to find as many opportunities to talk to other people. Don't be shy.
Okay, we got another question here uh, from our website. So, can I practice the exam for free? So, or is there any practice app or website?
Do you want to take it, Emily?
We have a full digital sample test that is available for free. It's on our website, michiganassessment.org, and you can go through a full sample test online.
Yeah, and you have two options. You can download some of the exams and you can look at it if you want to see the sections of the test and you want to kind of analyze them more carefully. But the digital version of the test is also available in the same platform that you would, the same kind of experience that you will have with the digital test when you're taking it either remotely from home or at a test center. And so you can be more familiar with the timing of the different sections. You can check the not just the types of items, the questions that you will have for listening, reading, writing, and grammar and speaking, but also how they are presented to you, how you will interact, what you will need to do to click here, to advance, to move on from one item to the next one. So you're more confident with that experience on the day of the test.
Okay, So I think we already covered all the questions from our live audience. But before we end this live session, if there's one piece of advice that you would give to prospective international students who are planning to study in the US, what would it be?
I'll give a couple, and Emily will probably have many more. But start early, start planning, making plans early on, and don't just wait until the last minute, because you will have to consider many requirements for your application process, and English is one of them. So start working on your skills early on, and plan when you're going to be taking the exam to be ready, because there will be other things that you will also need to be putting together as part of a whole application. And practice as much as you can all the time, all four skills, and register for MET.
Emily?
To add to that, I would say it's really important to take a bit of time to learn about the community where you're planning on going. Find out as much as you can about it, and that will help ease the transition. And find some friends, find some support groups that can help you through the process. So it can be, it feels intimidating moving overseas. I've done it too. It helps to have support. As Fernando said, keep practicing, make a plan, and you'll be great.
Okay, so thank you so much, Emily and Dr. Fernando, for sharing such a valuable insight with us today. And for everyone who joined us, thank you for joining. Your enthusiasm to and dedication to learning makes this kind of events meaningful. So we trust that the insights shared today have enriched your understanding, guiding you towards informed choices for a fulfilling educational journey ahead. So please remember that our website, studyingtheusa.com, is continually updated with helpful resources, upcoming events, and all the latest on higher education opportunities. Also, make sure to visit michiganassessment.org to certify your English with MET to study in the USA. Michigan English Test caters to individuals of all ages, from young learners to teens and adults across all English proficiency levels. So the results are instrumental in advancing both professional and educational goals. So whether you're just beginning your journey or seeking to further your career, studying the USA and Michigan English tests are here to support you in every step of the way. So have a wonderful week. Again, this is Eloisa, and we look forward to seeing you to the next event, live event like this one. So keep reaching your dreams and with courage and conviction. So have a good one, everyone. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Elise, and all the Studying the USA team. A great pleasure.
Yes, thank you so much for
Bye,
having us
everybody.
today. Bye.
Bye.